when you think about Nazi Germany, there was no what we typically call the Holocaust in Nazi Germany, and Jewish people weren't the only people who were killed, murdered. But when we think about the Holocaust, there's nothing really in human history like that so many people were killed in such a short period of time, so systematically. And Jewish people were, of all the people who were killed, Jews were killed with a distinct idea to eradicate all Jews underneath the political umbrella of the lands that were controlled by the Nazis, okay? And you just don't see that anywhere in history. And so you've seen footage from the Holocaust, right? So when I see this was the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally from several years ago, and these are the Star of David, right? I mean, this is a symbol here. So unite the right, and we're going to come out and we're just going to really attack, and we're going to what that stands for, right? It's not They didn't put that up there because they're Jewish. They put that up there because of a hatred of Jews. Here are just some folks from this gathering, and look, you have this you have the swastika. Do you know what that represents, right? You just see what happened in Germany with the Nazis, and he's like, holy shit. These are some of the modern day symbols that far-right groups are using. Many of these are drawn from German lore, from ancient German, like ruins and so on, right? So people don't use the swastika, they use other symbols. And next slide. And I just a couple things. That Jews are targeted more than any other religious groups. I know that there are a lot of religious groups that want to kind of get in on this, right? But they want to that have also been targeted. But Jews, by far and away, targeted more than other religious groups. And anti-Semitic incidents are at record levels here in the United States. Okay, so now I want to start with you, Olivia, right? As someone who's Jewish, how do you manage? How do you manage this in your mind?
I think for me, it's kind of the idea of this is what happened to the Jews in the past was terrible, and no one should experience it. But I think it's getting better in terms of how kids are being treated because they're Jewish. I feel like the kids I went to high school and a bunch of my friends here that are Jewish, they never really experienced the anti-Semitism. So I feel like it's getting better, but it doesn't make up for what they did in the past was terrible and should never have happened in the first place. The hatred is ridiculous. It happened many, many years ago, and why it happened, I get, but I think that at some point people need to not move on and forget about it, but accept the idea that there's still Jewish people here, and they're not all terrible people, and that they should be treated like humans rather than how they were treated back then.
Okay, so let me be clear, right? So what you're saying is this hatred of Jews, people need to get past that.
Yes.
Because Jews are all around us.
Yes.
And what I'm saying is, okay, I buy that, but they're not. And so, many people are, right? Most people are, but other people would love to be rid of all Jews still.
I think about it a little bit, but to me it's kind of those people are just, I guess I don't think about it as much as maybe you do, or someone the Nazi supporters do think about it, but to me it's just kind of I kind of go on with my life. And I don't think about it that much.
Okay. This is really there. It's not even underground anymore. It's coming right to the surface, where you have these gatherings of neo-Nazis throughout Europe, and thousands of people are showing up. So how do you sit?
I think hearing from you say it's still a thing, and it's more on the surface than I realize, kind of makes me a little afraid of where these groups of people are going to go next. Are they going to try to do something similar like they did in the past? But it is scary to me to think about it now that you kind of put in perspective how close in it is to me now.
First off, for me, I'm just if anybody had any idea, if you watch as much footage as I've watched and read as much and seen photos as much as I've watched about the Holocaust, about what happened to Jewish people, I'd be like, the fact that anybody could in any way have any kind of symbol that's connected to Nazi Germany, it's beyond my even shallowest comprehension of what it means to be a human being, right?
I mean, what they did to the Jews back then was like terrible, and no one should be treated like the way the Jews were, but it's should just like, I don't know.
But the problem is, so Jewish people have this idea of like never forget, okay? Like never forget the Holocaust. You've heard this, right?
Yeah, I have.
So, but the reason is because this hasn't gone away, right? And Nazism wasn't the first time. Like Nazism was the first time Jews were persecuted. It's just the first time that people attempted to do so on such an extensive, radical, and systematic schedule, right? So it's like, yeah, but what are we moving on with, right? Like, because every time we turn around, there's new neo-Nazi groups that are emerging. People are still grabbing onto this ideology.